and 15 pounds. If you just have one set, that's fine. I'll probably just stick to the 10 actually. And then we also have a little bit of movement. Again, as always, I'll provide modifications as we go along through this. If you don't have weights, that's fine. We can always modify with the ball, which I'm going to grab one real quick just so that I have that as an example. So let me go ahead and get that for you. And today Elsa's going to help us out, so we can make it kid friendly if we need to. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our warm-ups. Let me go ahead and get my exercise watch started, because if you don't do it, then it doesn't count. At least that's how it is in my mind. All right, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. We're going to start with just jogging here in place. Hope everybody's been having a good week. I happen to rush here after work. Go ahead and jack it out. And I forgot to plan ahead and grab my workout clothes. So my apologies for wearing all black. It's just what I happened to have downstairs, and I was already wearing this work shirt. All right, let's windmills. Go ahead and forward. Today's workout, we're going to be working out total body, so that does include a bit of shoulders, definitely your core, reverse it. We're going to be doing also our legs, of course. Let's go ahead and come out to the side here. Reaching out to the side, nice and deep. Getting a nice big stretch here. Very good. Let's go ahead and switch it to the other side. Reach across as you take a nice big inhale. Always feels nice to do at the end of the day. All right, back to the top. Let's go back to our butt kickers here. So I homeschool my kids, and being at home, I'm thinking I'm going to be up and around, but I feel like I do a lot of sitting. All right, jack it out. So I try to rotate between each kid so that we don't all get stuck on one thing. But a lot of times, like today this morning, we had science. We did 2 different experiments, 4th grade, 2nd grade, kindergarten, and reverse. And I just try to tailor it for my kindergartner so she gets something out of it. She's actually pretty good with it. All right, go ahead and reach it out to the sides. Good. We'll do one more on the other side here. All right, I'm just going to do one more little stretch here, and then we'll go ahead and get started with the actual workout. Bring your feet forward, touch your toes, opposite side. Really get those hamstrings nice and warmed up, ready to go for our workout. All right, so take a little breather here, get some water if you need it. Our workout today is kind of grouped into 2 different things. The first half of the workout, we're doing about 8 to 10 different exercises, and we're going to repeat that twice. So even though we're doing a lot of different exercises, a lot of them do repeat from left to right side. They're 30 seconds each. You'll get a 30-second break at the end of that round before we kind of start up again. You get about 10 to 15-second break between each exercise to kind of get a sip of water or get whatever you need. Again, I will typically try to show you how to do the workout initially, and then after that, once I kind of get you going, I'll show you modifications on how to do that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So you're going to start with walking lunges. So I'm just going to move my equipment out of the way here. You can do this with or without weights. It's completely up to you on how you want to do this. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to grab my camera here so we know where we're at. And let's get started. 30 seconds. You can start this. You're just walking all the way across. Make sure that as you switch, that you're switching onto the correct leg as you do this. If you're feeling like you want to, you can always add weight to this. You can grab 2 different weights and then walk with that as you lunge. You don't need a ton of space with this. I'm doing about 3 lunges before I gotta kind of turn around because I run out of space here. All right, about 1 second left. All right, next one. You're gonna do curtsy lunges. I'll show you here really quickly. You can either grab a weight You're gonna curtsy lunge behind. As you do this, you wanna make sure that you're kind of behind that leg. You're not turning your leg out because then you're gonna hurt your knee. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the tent down. We'll go ahead and get started. So, turning forward, try to turn towards the camera so you can kind of see what it would look like. So you're gonna go directly behind that leg. Make sure that that stabilizing leg stays pointed forward, that your knee isn't turning out. None of this business where you're turning. We don't want any meniscus injuries. You do want it to kind of go behind that opposite leg. All right, very good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, good. Go ahead and shake it off here. We're gonna do the other side. Same thing. Again, you can grab a weight if that's something you wanna do. If not, you can always go without the weight. All right, go ahead and grab that weight. Same thing on the opposite side. So we're gonna cross over and back. So one thing I like to do with these curtsy lunges to really target those glutes, I like to bring my chest over my front thigh, and that really helps to elongate and activate that glute that we're trying to work out. Good, keep it going. See how deep you can get, how long you can do this for. All right, very nice. Finish that off. All right, next thing that we're doing is we're gonna be doing jumping jacks. So traditional, all the way out, all the way in. If jumping's not for you, either it doesn't feel good on your joints or you're dealing with pelvic floor issues, symptoms, you can always step it out. If you want something a little bit more, you can always, this is always hard for me to do, you can always do like scissors. So from here, that's a little bit less impact on that pelvic floor. All right, 30 seconds of jumping jacks. Make sure that as you're doing this, you're gonna exhale as you jack out. If you're modifying, or, and that's just gonna help that pelvic floor react a little bit better for you, especially if you're dealing with heaviness or any leaking issues. All right, very good. All right, another 15 seconds. Grab a quick sip of water if you need it. All right, this next one, you're gonna be grabbing your weight. You're gonna hold it out here with your toes pointed out. You're gonna be squatting and coming straight back up. All right, let's go for 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go ahead. Exhale. As you come on up. Good, if you don't have a weight, keep going. If you do, you don't have a weight, you can do the ball option. As you come up, you're gonna squeeze that ball. Make sure that you're pressing through your heels and standing all the way up. Nice and tall. Your knees track over your toes. All right, very good. Next one, we're gonna be doing a regular sumo squat, but it's gonna be more of a pulse. So you're gonna try to stay in this position. All right, we're going out here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So come in nice and low. Again, your toes are out. No weights are needed on this one. And you're just gonna pulse it up. 30 seconds, so we're down to 20 already. So just pulse, 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 pulse. Make sure you're taking those nice quick exhales as you come up. It's gonna help, again, protect that pelvic floor, get it a little bit stronger, so when you're doing something like a jumping jack, your pelvic floor can react for you. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up, we got Romanian deadlifts. So this one, you can grab your heavy weights. You're gonna be about hip width apart. With this one, you wanna keep your knees nice and soft, and you wanna make sure that you're starting that exercise with your hips going back. So a lot of people make the mistake of wanting to bend and then do this, but what you wanna start is the hips leaning back, and then your back staying relatively flat. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So again, you're going to let yourself come back. Exhale, press through your heels to stand up tall. You can always do this without a weight or with one weight. Just kind of find the level of fitness and the equipment wise that you have and work with it. You should feel your glutes elongate in this position and contract here. All right, next up, you're going to need a chair or a box. Let me grab my chair really quick. And you're going to be doing a single leg hip thrust. You can do weights or no weights. I'm just going to angle this down a little bit so you can see a little bit more. All right, so for this one, go ahead and sit on the back so that you're kind of aiming for whatever it is, the couch or chair, right around the broad strap area. You're going to bring your hips up nice and tall. Depending on the size of your chair will depend if you can touch the bottom with your bottom. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to do single leg. You're going to come down and straight back up. So my arms, they're not pushing on anything. You can put your arms behind your head. And if you need them to support, you're going to exhale to lift up to a nice tabletop position. My bottom is not touching all the way down. It's barely grazing it. And then coming back up. So I'm never truly sitting down all the way at the bottom. All right, good. Shake it out. We're going to do here the other side. And then we'll be done with our first round of the legs. And we'll start again. So we'll get a little 30-second break after this. All right, go ahead and hop to it. And then lean yourself back. Broad strap area. 3, 2, 1. So if you're having a really hard time and can't get all the way up or do the exercise correctly with single leg, you can always put one foot down. You're gonna put it about the size of your, or the, right next to your heel. You're gonna press with the foot that's in front. And the other one's right along the length of the heel on the toes. You're just gonna go all the way up and down and relax. All right, so we get 30 seconds to take a little breather here, get some water, and we're gonna start again all the way from the top. So we're gonna be starting with our walking lunges. I'm gonna move my chair out of the way, my weights out of the way. Now space to move. All right, we got 10 seconds, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started here. All right. All right, here we go. 10 seconds, 30 seconds. So we're gonna go ahead and go with our walking lunges. Very good. And around. Good. Keep going. Try to get as low as you can on those lunges, but without banging your knee on the floor. Good. Keep turning and lunging. Very nice. Okay, good. All right, next up, we have our curtsy lunge. All right, again, we can grab our weight if you're feeling that you're able to do that. My apologies, let me bring that camera back up. All right, curtsy lunges. All right, in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go back and then tap out to the opposite side. Tap at the top. Bring your trunk over your thigh. The weight is optional here. All right. Try to go as low as you can, keeping that form. Again, without twisting your hips out and hurting your knee. Exhale on the way up, last one. All right, good. All right, shake it out. We're gonna do it again here. We're gonna switch to the opposite side. And we're about halfway with our workout, almost. All right, let's go ahead and do the opposite side. So we're going back and then tapping. Good, if you want to pick up the speed, by all means do. If you need to slow it down, do that as well. But what I don't want you to do is stop moving. But just keep going on whatever level you can, with or without the weight, as deep as you are able to. Good. All right, next up, we got our jumping jacks. Again, we're either jacking it out all the way, or we're stepping out, or we're doing our cross jacks. All right, pick which one suits you best, and let's go. In 3, 2, and 1. And you go out, exhale, as you jump out, as you step out. And keep going. This is the last time we'll be doing these jumping jacks. All right, coming to the end here. All right, very good. The 15-second break, we're going to be going into our goblet squats. So either grab your weight, or you're going to grab the ball to do the ball squeeze as you do that one. All right, let's go ahead and get set up. I'm going to place this down. We're going to go ahead and get started. So you're coming all the way down, all the way standing tall. Press through your heels as you stand up tall. Exhale to stand up tall as well. Good, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. All right, next up, we're going into our pull squats. Again, sumo's pull squats, toes are up or out farther than our hips, and we're going to be staying in that little pulse throughout the entire 30 seconds. All right, let's go. So we're pulsing here. Again, we're still pressing through our heels. We're still exhaling as we come up. Really feel it along your thighs, your glutes, should feel your core engaged. Keep going. Sink a little bit lower if you can. Just 7 seconds left. All right, good job. Okay, next up we have our deadlifts. So you're going to be using your weights again. So I'll be doing 10s here. All right, give you another 5-second break. All right, hope you have your equipment ready. Again, if you don't have the equipment, you can do it without. You can still just go through the motions. You should still feel your glutes extending here. All right, let's get to it. You're sending your hips back, keeping your back relatively flat. Exhale, press through your heels to come up tall. Go as far down as you can without losing your form. So I don't want to see anything shoulders rounded. Keep your shoulders back and tight. Your neck should be in a neutral spine, so we're not looking up at the screen. We're not looking down at our toes. We're looking maybe 3 feet in front of us. Okay, all set with that one. Next one we have is our hip thrust. And then we'll be all set with our leg round. Okay. So let's go ahead. You can grab the weights if you want to. If not, you can go without. All right, ready? In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and get started. Again, your arms can be behind your head to support you, but you're not using your elbows to push you up. All right, if you're doing singles, keep going. If you are needing help, you're going to put that foot down. So instead of being right next to it, you're going to slide it down to the length of that heel. And you're still pressing through that front foot, that front heel, so that you get the work on that glute. Good. Take your 15-second break. And we're going to do it one more time. And then that'll be it for the legs. Then move on to abs and arms. So make sure you stick around for that. All right, go ahead and position yourself back up. Switch legs, and let's go. So again, you can come all the way as far down as you can. You're not going to sit all the way down. Even if you're keeping that other leg down to modify, you make sure that you stay off the ground. You can graze it, you can tap it, you're just not resting. The longer you keep a muscle under tension, The more work it's gonna do, the more results you're gonna get. All right, good. All right, 30-second break. Move my chair out of the way. And we'll get started with our second half here. So, really slow your heart rate down here for the next part. Just want to make sure you all can see me. You're going to need your weight again, at least one of them, or you can grab the lower ones, depends on your fitness level or your strength level. First exercise, you're going to be in a half moon position. Make sure that you're not pushing yourself forward, staying nice and tall. You're going to grab your weight. You're going to be pressing right over. What we don't want is we don't want to see you flare those ribs forward. You're going to keep them nice and tight as we press all the way up. Are you ready? Here we go. 30 seconds. You can do anything for 30 seconds, right? So again, you're stabilizing your ribs, making sure that you're not thrusting anything forward. And you're going to press up high and overhead. Exhale to reach up. Get those shoulders working, get them burning. Good. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the opposite side. All right. Another 10 seconds here. I'm going to turn myself this way so you can have more of a front view this time around in case you need to make modifications. All right, here we go. Opposite arm from the one that's leaning forward. So this is my weaker side. It's my left side. So one of the things I have to remind myself about is that we're not reaching over like this just to get the weight up. So try to keep yourself honest. If you need to bring the weight down, something lighter, do it, because it's not worth injuring yourself later because you couldn't keep your form right. Good. Okay, next one up, we're going to be doing a renegade row. So you're going to have two weights out in front of you. You're going to be doing a plank. So you're going to be out in a plank position like this, and you're going to be rowing up, alternating that row. Make sure that as you do this, that you're not twisting and turning too much. Try to keep your hips square down to the floor as you do this. All right, let's go ahead and get started. 30 seconds on the clock. Exhale as you row up. Really try to fight that rotation as you do this. If you're needing to modify, if you notice any coning in your abdominals, you're going to come down to your knees. Do the same thing. Focus on keeping your core nice and straight, your back nice and straight, and imagine you're pinching a pencil in the back as you row up. Good. All right. Next one here, we've got weighted windmills on the left and the right side. So you're going to grab one of your weights. You're going to have it up over your head. I know you're going to miss it out in a second. I just want to make sure that you guys can see my feet as well a little bit. So your feet are turned out a little bit. You're going to have the weight up above you. You're going to turn so that this arm's kind of dangling down and come up, just like this. Okay? You can always add a little extra if you're wanting to, so you do both sides. All right? I'm going to stick to one for today. All right, let's get going. So you're looking up at that weight. You're exhaling to bring it all the way to the top. All the way to the top. Exhale. Try to send your hips to the opposite direction as you come down. Keep your core nice and tight as you do this exercise so you don't injure your back. Don't want to be losing control with the weight up over your head. All right, good. We're going to be doing the other side now. And then we're going to grab two of our lighter weights. I'm just going to turn this a smidge. All right. Let's get going. Opposite side, so feet are turned down. Weight is above your head. You're going to exhale as you come up. If you're starting out at first, you'll notice that my hand is kind of gliding through my thigh here and my leg, and that just kind of helps me to stay in line. Not kind of wobbling all over the place if my hand was out in front of me. So I'm not putting any pressure, I'm just literally just gliding my hand as I do that. All right, almost halfway done with our core and our ab portion here. You're gonna be grabbing 2 lighter weights. You're gonna be in a tall standing position.